Hello guys, it's been 2 weeks since the last video, um, and I'm making another one because at the last video we made, Hydreight Technologies was at $2.88. There hasn't been much in the way of news, but the price action has been very bullish. Uh, this is the date of the last video right here. We had a nice little consolidation for a few days, and then zig up, consolidation for a few days, and then another big pump up here to $3.60. And every time I've been looking at, trying to decide when to buy or what dip to get, I try to wait every 3 days just to pick up a little bit right here. And then once it goes up, I just assume it's going to go down a little bit, and I try to buy a little bit more if possible. Same thing right there. And every time I do, it's just a nice little reward. I Again, there's no guarantee that things are going to keep going up forever, uh, or that it's not going to consolidate for a long time again. But to me, this is very bullish price movement. It's just a nice gradual upward trend. There's a couple of gap ups. Uh, Companies making good money, good investments in their own products and their own vertical integration, and it's starting to get some pretty good attention. It's been positive for a long time. Again, not like it isn't like Oklo. God, Oklo. That's just disgusting. But yeah, I think Oklo was $6 at one point. So even then, this is half of what Oklo started off at. And again, I'm just trying to raise awareness on it. I've been a lot of great picks from a lot of people that I've watched. We got Oscar, Applied Digital. I watch a lot of the data center and income stuff. You got some biotechs, you got some healthcare plays and industrials and mining and all the good stuff. But this is one where there's a couple people that cover it, but just like me, they don't have very many subscribers. I don't think I actually have any subscribers because I actually don't make any videos hardly. This is probably my second one I've made in 4 years. So anyway, I'm going to keep it short. It's a 2.5 minute video right now. Uh, I just want to do a quick update on the price. Down the road, I like to do a lot of research on companies and stocks, and I like to find small companies that I can add a ton of shares into and hope for, you know, what is it like? Applied Digital, I don't remember where they were at one point. They were at $3 too. I think I got into them around like the $7 range, and I like that. It would have been nice to get into them at three, but getting that's like 100% change. Even from 7 to 21, that's a 300% change. From this to that, sorry, from seven to that, that's about 300% change. But if you got your shares at half price, that's a 600% gain. That's a huge, huge um, difference to get into things early. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to cover Hydreight, and I'm going to keep looking for stocks that are actually cheap, not pump and dumps, but stocks that actually have a good business, are actually profitable, are actually growing. Hydreight itself is growing, 30% each quarter, quarter over quarter. Um, and These are the kind of things I'd like to be able to buy, thousands and thousands of shares in, and then just sit on it for a while and build my own investing empire. I'm definitely not there yet. I'd like to get there one day, but I know there's companies like Oklo or big ones like Tesla that people really like to get into and go, oh, these things will go up by 50% in the next year or so. And, that's all well and good, but I don't know, maybe I'm greedy. I want the multi-baggers, and I don't want to own 10 shares of stuff. I'd like to own thousands of shares of things because down the road, once they get big enough and options get in place, then you can start selling covered calls on them and actually get a monthly income on them, and or even weekly. But I'm looking at a few other companies, not not enough to recommend right now, but we'll see. We'll see how the future goes. Uh, like I've been following Rich Tech Robotics, and I've got again nothing wrong with them. They've had really good price action too, but this is a lot more. This is kind of a lot more toppy to me. It's not as if you compare that to Hydreight. Uh, Hydreight is going up too, but it is just very gradual. So consistent buying and consistent selling, but overall the buyers are outweighing the sellers for a long period of time. And I wish I would have found these guys earlier. I think they were down to like 20 cents at one point. God. Of course, I think back then they were down at 20 cents for a reason, so it would have probably been irresponsible to buy, 10,000 shares of them. But I think my average price after buying these guys like around one or so, my average price is around $2 on them, and it'll probably keep going up if I end up buying more. But I'm actually pretty close to being tapped out, so we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, like 1,000 shares at $2 is $2 grand. 1,000 shares at 20 cents would have been $200. So that's 10,000 shares would have been nice, but I don't know. Going all in on that kind of a penny stock that's that low without knowing where the price is going to go is pretty risky. And it wasn't really until like, this point right here where they had reported that they were going to be doing some good stuff, and then they started to melt up and gap up, and then they just had nice gradual price progression. But so if I compare that to something like Rich Tech, which, I'm not saying it's a bad company or a good company, I'm definitely watching them because I'd like to get in, but I, man, I know robotics are good and there's a lot of companies doing robot stuff, so maybe they'll be great, but it's actually kind of the same thing with Oklo. I mean, I actually got into Oklo really early, maybe around, I don't remember where it was, but I think it might have been back here. And then once we got up to 70 or so, I think right around it dipped right around here. I think I sold it. I think I had a stop loss. So I mean, made a decent amount, but they don't have a product yet. They're years out on development. There's no way to know that they were going to keep going up. Um, Maybe some people knew people keep buying it, but um, and maybe they'll go up to $200, but I just can't. I just can't bring myself to buy them. Uh, if I bought 10 shares of them right now, that's I don't know. I'd rather buy something a little bit cheaper, like even Navitas, which I'm sure some people have known about. But anyway, uh, sorry to make the video go a lot longer. Looks like Hydreight's starting to have a little bit of a dip. Let's take a look at their long-term trends. So they're this is one of my favorite price actions or like trends. Like it's just this gradual upward momentum. You don't want it to like spike up a ton and then like head back down, but you just want this gradual little growth. Zigzag up, zigzag up, zigzag up. It's just showing that a little bit of profit taking, which is good. Because if you have a little bit of profit taking every week on some level, what that means is that people are making a little bit of money and then more, and then they're either buying back in or other people are buying back in. And it's just instead of everyone dumping all at once, you just have this nice gradual growth up. So they're well over the 10-day moving average, and that's over the 20, and that's over the 50, which is over the 200, which is over the 3. Short term is looking pretty good. Like I say, they've had some. I don't tend to follow the 5 too much. This is kind of more short term trends for other bigger companies that I can maybe trade options on. But this is the one that I look for more long term holds. So, but they're definitely doing good. I'm pretty sure they're going to dip tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. This is Friday. I think they're going to dip Monday, or they're going to have a dip soon. I would expect based on their price, because you usually have like three down, three up, three down, three up, three up, three down, and then instead of this one, it wasn't three up, but it was, instead of down down, it was, you got like 288, and then that price was basically, this is the first time. Actually, that's 288 too. So you had 5 days where it was basically not doing anything, but then you had a, it fell pretty hard and then rallied back pretty strongly, and then a big rally. So my guess is something like this or something like this over the next few days, and this trend may change, of course, but that's just the pattern I've been following. So I've got a decent amount of shares of them, and it's getting to that point where I just don't have the money to buy another 1,000 shares of them, because it's almost 3x'd from the beginning where I was starting to look at it, like around the 120s. But anyway, I'll stop rambling and put this out there. Again, I got 4 subscribers as of this date. And again, you don't need to subscribe or whatnot, but because I'm going to come out with a video every couple weeks, maybe, unless I retire someday. But I'm just trying to build awareness for some of these stocks, because I know there's a lot of people that they'll buy, 300,000 shares at, at a company that's at $20, and then it'll go up to 50 and they make a good amount of money. But most of us don't have that kind of money to start with. So we can get into Google and buy 10 shares at 140 or 160 and then just wait a few months. But our real bankroll is going to be finding these little diamonds in the rough that we can get a good amount of money in and then do a melt up. So I've had a few people that I've followed, or regular people in the chat, that are spamming stocks, going like, buy this, look at this stock, and then they get banned or muted. And I've actually looked up all the stocks that those people say just to go through them, and a lot of them are pretty decent stocks. In fact, that's how I found Hydreight. Somebody just mentioned it in some live chat a long time ago, and I started looking at it and I did research, and I was like, you know what, these people look good. I'll buy 1,000 shares of them. And I just held it for a while and forgot about it. And started to go up, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll buy a little bit more. And then it went down. I was like, oh crap, what's wrong with me? And then it started to go up, and I was like, well, maybe I'll buy a little bit more. Well, maybe I'll buy a little bit more. All right, this is the last time I'm buying it. And then now, yeah, it's a little bit too much. But anyway, I will really go this time. I'm sorry for blabbing so much. I wanted to make a really quick video, but I didn't. So, good company, good stock. They record their own earnings calls, a lot of information. So if you want to do your own deep dive and due diligence, you can. But I'll see you guys later.